Hey guys, what's up? I am Rosie, and today I wanted to talk about my stepfather. My stepfather has passed away. He passed away, I think was March 2nd, 2002. And it kind of was a devastating loss, I guess. But the reason I'm hesitating a bit, I guess I should get down to the story. Some kids in their lives grew up with numerous uncles because of their moms. And when I say uncles, I say it with quotations. Well, I grew up with quite a few dads. My mom would date around and I would get to liking the guy. And since I was so young, I didn't know any better, I would call him daddy. My own father wasn't around as much as I wanted him to be, so I just longed for a dad. Um, and there were quite a few of them, unfortunately. But my mom sort of dated based on my reactions to the guys. Like, I could like the guy at first, but when he started to get on my nerves, my face is very honest. My face is more honest than I am. So when I started to like roll my eyes at them or kind of ignore them or be kind of aloof with them, she would start some kind of an argument with them, and next thing you know, they're gone. Well, my stepdad, she met him at first when I was a little bitty thing around 1980 or 81, maybe 82, I don't know. I was 5 or 6 years old probably. And he lived in our neighborhood. Now, we lived in the projects, and he lived in a big house, like in front of the projects or behind them, depending on your point of view. And everybody in the projects and in the neighborhood that he lived in knew him and called him by his last name, Mr. K. I'm not going to give his last name out of respect for his family. So Mr. K was well known in the neighborhood. Everybody knew that he worked for the railroad. They knew that he made good money. He owned his own house. And Mr. K was just the man in that neighborhood, pretty much. I don't know how my mom met him, but we were with the psycho at the time that they knew him back then. And he was just a pretty popular fellow, I guess. And obviously they did not date then. He was married at that time with his son. And, they lived in that house. So the next time I saw him after that was, I guess, around 85 or 86. And he had a nice new Trans Am, a black Trans Am, and it looked just like the Kit car in the classic Knight Rider series. If you don't know about Knight Rider, Google it. And it's not Knight with just an N, it's Knight that starts with a K. Look it up. David Hasselhoff was Michael Knight, and it was a cool show. Every kid liked that show. And he and my mom started dating around that time, and I was in 4th or 5th grade. And so he would come around, and sometimes he took me to school, and it was fun, and the kids would come around, is that Kit? Is that Kit? And just to impress them and seem kind of cool myself, I would just tell them, yeah, it's Kit. And, everything was kind of cool for a while, and we would go around, see his family. My mom just happened to be his sister's best friend because they worked together at the cookie factory. And, yeah, it was just really, really a cool time. And they dated for maybe a year, maybe less. I don't know. I had no concept of time back then. I just know that he sometimes spent the night. He would bring a television over, and there would be two TVs in the living room. There would be one for me to watch shows that I liked on, and there would be another television to watch the shows that he liked, and he did that just for me. And sometimes we would spend the night at his house, and he had cable, so he had much better shows on. But anyway, sometimes I would see my mom, over time, I would see her get sad and depressed and sometimes pissed off because he wouldn't come around like he said he would or like he used to. He just started kind of, I guess, neglecting her, blowing her off maybe. And the next thing I know, they broke up. And I was kind of indifferent to it because I was kind of used to it. And there were a few guys after him that she dated that I wouldn't have minded if she had married them. One in particular, he had like a nice car, a nice, cool motorcycle, and a beautiful apartment. And he wanted to move us out of the crappy apartment that we lived in and into his place. And he was going to buy a house. And he wanted to take care of me and her. He probably would have put me in a private school. And my mom told me that I should have told her, but she declined dating him because he used to be her best friend's boyfriend. So she followed the girl code. But the thing is, she and that friend lost touch and hadn't talked in ages. And that friend was probably remarried by then, or married by then with more kids. But anyway, so time went on, I went through 6th and 7th grade, and around the time that she left the guy that abused me when I was 11 and 13. And if you want to know more about that, you have to go to my sexual awareness videos, and they're my own personal experiences. And so just listen to that and you'll know who I'm talking about. When she broke up with him, we went to live with my grandmother, and that was around the time, around the end of the year, around maybe October, I guess. She got back together with Mr. K. And, they started dating, and I got home one afternoon after school, and I saw his car in the driveway, and I immediately knew who it was. And I called out his name, and I ran into the house, and there he was. And when I saw him, I just gave him a big old hug. And he was so happy to see me, and he was so happy that I was glad to see him. And yeah, so I liked him at first. I loved him at first. I thought he was great. And he had bought me a Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's, and that was around the time that I discovered that they actually had cheese. I, for a long time, didn't pay attention to how the sandwich was made, so I didn't know it had cheese. But anyway, he would, pick us up at times, and we'd go to like a hotel and watch cable, movies on cable. And then he would take me from one side of town all the way to the other side to school. And I didn't go to that school too long after that. If you want to know why, like I said, listen to my sexual awareness stories. The first one, anyway. And you'll know what happened in December of that year. Or it might have been November or whatever. But we moved out, and my mom still dated him. And it was like awesome. He once saved me from getting a spanking because I made a D on my report card. I was in 8th grade at a different school. And my mom, I showed it to her, and I was like petrified. And I showed her my report card, and she was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And he, like, Mr. K told her, "No, don't whoop her, because that ain't gonna make her make better grades. That's just gonna cause her to be stressed out." And so what she did instead was she gave me $5, and she took me shopping and bought me 2 outfits. And I loved those freaking outfits. I got 2 shirts and 2 pairs of jeans. One pair of jeans had like colored patches in it. And both the t-shirts I got matched the patches because they were green and hot pink. They were like an electric lime green color and hot pink. And that's what color the shirts were, and that's what color the patches were in those jeans. And I got another pair of jeans that had some kind of design or other in it. And when I went to school in those outfits, the kids were like dying over them. They were like, Rosalind, where did you get those clothes? And I just told them, even though I was with my mom, I said, I don't know. My mama got them for me, and they were there for me when I got home. So yeah, I lied. But we, had a great time with him, and he was nice and everything. And in April of 1990, we actually moved in with him. And this is getting kind of long, so I'm going to end it right here and do a part 2 and tell you the rest of the story. So stay tuned, you guys. I love you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see ya on the next upload. Bye for now.